Not all immigrants are created equal, and an immigration policy that does not recognise this will end in disaster and tragedy.
Something that's going on across Europe right now, because obviously we've seen these Hamas rallies and this pro-Palestine stuff. We've seen it in Brussels and we've seen it in France and London and elsewhere. But Ireland has a really bizarre situation going on where they're extremely pro-Palestine. It's Asra, maybe you can explain a little bit of what's going on that. But not only that, they've also had a bunch of stabbings and other violent attacks by illegal immigrants. It's led to riots and a whole bunch more. But they do have occasionally a senator that wisens up to some of this. This is Irish Senator Sharon Keogan. And listen to her make the connection between illegal immigration, having no borders, and the obvious results of that.
Firstly, on Taoiseach's statement yesterday that it is not right to connect immigration with crime is ridiculous. Not all immigrants are created equal, and an immigration policy that does not recognise this will end in disaster and tragedy. We don't record crime statistics by ethnicity, because to do so would offend liberal sensibilities, but other European countries do. The Dutch do. They've done it for 10 years, and here's what they've found. Individuals from non-Western immigration background make up 14% of the population in the Netherlands. However, they commit 40% of all crime and violent assaults. Populations from Africa or the Middle East tend to exhibit rates of 2 to 4 times higher than those of native Dutch. And in both Germany and Spain, the suspect rate of Algerian immigrants for crimes is 10 times that of natives, and in Italy it is 17 times. And Ireland has the largest groups of Algerian asylum seekers in the world being admitted into the country. Asking us not to connect crime to immigration is asking us to ignore reality. Well, now Ireland has the eyes of the world on it, and they're posed to see how this country is being turned into a post-democratic EU vassal state, which is about to pass censorship legislation, the likes of which we have never seen in the West, so that its government will be protected from the criticism of the people it is elected to govern. Maybe that will give them pause for thought, but I won't hold my breath.
Okay, this brave woman is obviously telling the truth, and I think in most Western European capitals, if they could reverse everything they did for the last 10 years, they would. Angela Merkel has even admitted it in Germany, and yet, Asra, it's exactly what we're doing right now in America, letting all of these people in. And not all cultures are equal, are they?
Yeah, and I told you guys the story of arriving in this country in the 1960s and the Muslim brothers arriving as my father did. Well, my father refused that Saudi money, right, in building a mosque in the United States. But what the fundamental problem is that the immigrants that are coming in from Muslim countries that want to replicate the most totalitarian systems that they knew of religious interpretation or want to then also put on the United States or the West and Europe are the ones that are gaining so much power. This woke army that I write about is not just in the United States, it's in Europe. It is the far left in Europe that has aligned with the Islamists that have created these, quote, pro-Palestinian rallies. But they are not pro-Palestinian, just like you said. They are at a minimum anti-Israel and anti-Jew.